어때? 그것 때문에 내가
In 4.9 miles, take exit 220 onto New Mexico 500 and
사진만 찍고 가는 거지 뭐.
go past this stop sign. Then at the next one, turn left onto South Plaza Street Northwest.
Look at the difference. It's funny. I love contrast. You notice that wheat is growing quite fine on top of the landscape cloth and the wood chips? And here's the irony. The life force from those wood chips can't get to that rhododendron because the black landscape cloth is stopping it. So even in nature, there's no weeds. In nature, no one's watering. In nature, no one's adjusting pH. I'm just talking to you. And so all these things they're telling me are lies. So basically, I'm demonstrating it all. I have perfect 7.0 pH. I never water. So look at the green foliage on those trees. Look how dark green that is. I said they're touching one another. And we're both thriving in blueberries from acid. And I love nature. When it's done right, you don't have to adjust anything. Because 7.0 center and everybody's happy to work with it because it's so easy. No adjustments. No arranging anything. Just plant where you want and stuff grows and just get out of its way because it's going to grow well. And it doesn't need help. Are you familiar with the ginkgo tree? Right? You don't have to adjust anything. it's just so fun when you start experiencing the design of this creator who didn't miss anything, who knows what he's doing, who comes from a place of all wisdom, all knowledge, and it's so fun to work with it because it's so easy. No adjustments, no arranging anything. Just plant where you want. Stuff grows and just get out of its way because it's going to grow well, and it doesn't need help. Our pickles grow very slowly. They're very, very slow growing trees. Notice it's a multi-leader. There's three trees coming out of the ground. When I first planted this here, it was a single leader. And the power to my house failed. The rock must have nicked the wire. So the utility company had to come and fix it and do it, so they killed my tree. My gable tree was dead. Then out of the ground came these little suckers. So I saved 3, and today I have a far nicer tree than I would have originally with a single leader. I so love the Creator. He's so about redemption. Everything in nature is showing that it all comes back, and usually better than it started out. You know,
Right here.
so good. I'm looking for someone I talked to on the phone from Norway.
Right here.
All right. Welcome. I have one asparagus spear. These, you see how green they are? Decade after decade, century after century, no one's fertilizing. It works quite well, and it doesn't need help. In nature, where horse manure shows up, it's a pile here and one over there. It's not concentrated. It's really spread out. Where horse manure shows up, it's a pile here and one over there. It's not concentrated. It's really spread out. So I didn't say this, but I want questions. So if a question comes up, please ask, because it's not interruption, and usually they're really beneficial, and it just opens up understanding to get you free. Because you've been lied to a long time, and you're going to have to do some erasure up here, get things cleaned up, because you're coming from a lot of wrong premises, and it's not your fault. You just got lied to. But I'm going to show you today that the truth will set you free. Truth sets you free. It's awesome. This is hard. It's a lot of work, and they're tired. What happens when you till the soil? You have sterile soil. You know what's in the soil? What's in the soil? Thousands of living organisms are in the soil. I'm just telling you, if we think what we're doing and look at the effect, it's insanity. It's like if you wanted to destroy your place, you couldn't be any more effective. You couldn't do it better than by telling. And we work and we labor to do that. I'm just telling you, it's stupid. And it just shows how we're trained not to think. For breakfast every morning, and that's all I have all day long. I eat nothing since that. I'll go all day long with full energy because it's nutrient dense. Listen to me, when you have nutrient dense food, you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. This is why people are eating all the time now, because they're hungry. Because the body says, what you just fed wasn't food. It doesn't feed my cells. And you're always eating because you're hungry, because the food isn't food. And your body's not stupid. When you eat nutrient dense stuff, I'm amazed at how little I eat. How little I eat, because I don't need much, because it's so potent with nutrients. It's so fun. I just give you an example. I grow these beets. We're gonna have you guys are gonna get to eat raw beets here, and you are gonna blow your mind, literally, at how tender and sweet and bitter it is raw. And so I'm growing these beets in my garden. So I picked one for dinner, and I thought I'd eat it. But the first night, I was full on the foliage, the greens, totally satisfied. Like, I'm done. The next night I cut it in 2, and that was my meal. The third night, I finished the other half. It took me 3 nights to eat 1 beet. I got this long roll. I'm just telling you, man, it is so fun. The abundance, the overwhelming abundance that it's impossible to have a shortage. Now, does anybody know where I live? I'm 530 feet above sea level in western Washington, where figs don't grow. Figs grow in Mediterranean climates, in places like California and Florida. They do not grow in western Washington. And I want you to notice the abundance of figs I have. They get ripe every year. So if anybody here is in Western Washington want a fig tree, you see those little suckers coming out of the ground. If you go to, when you get ready to lay, go down, break them off, go and plant it, bury the whole thing. This tree you're seeing was one of those suckers 4 years ago. 4 years ago, that was a sucker. It's amazing how well they produce and fast. And you see those grapes over there? That's another thing you don't grow here. Grapes don't grow here. Hey, in Seattle, where it rains a lot, people are drinking water with their meals because the food you buy has a desert. It's very hot there, and there's no water. Back in the 50s when I was growing up, water bottles did not exist. There was no such thing as a water bottle. And we're out working all day long, 100 degree temperature, and we're fine, we're hydrated. Because back then, plants were growing in the soil, they had roots, and there was water in our food. And we're hydrated with the food reading. Today, in Seattle, where it rains a lot, people are drinking water with their meals because the food you buy has no water in it. Because the plants have no roots and they can't take up water. You buy an apple today, the thing's featherweight. It's totally like fat, there's nothing in it. You see all my trees? If you look at them closely, you've never in your life seen apple trees look like that. Anywhere in the world. You know why the branches are all bent over? You can't prune a bend. They're bent over because the apples are so heavy with water minerals that bends the branches down. It's weight. I hand people an apple, their hand just drops. They can't believe how heavy it is because it's minerals and water, which are heavy. You see, all the stuff you buy in the store is totally lightweight because there's nothing in it. I have an apple for breakfast every morning, and that's all I have all day long. I've eaten nothing since that. I'll go all day long with full energy because it's nutrient dense. Listen to me, when you have nutrient dense food, you don't need a lot.
Excuse me. I'm gonna sweep by ya. Need to be on the trail.
The plant, the crown has to be supported, and after it puts out all these shoots, getting life. You see that spear coming up like this?
Yeah.
There's no way to get photosynthesis. There's no leaves. And so nothing's going back into the plant. So when it creates all this fruit, it's taking in photosynthesis, getting life from the sun.
It's recycling.
And so it's building itself. And so all summer long, there's something about that is just like, it attracts my attention. Oh, I can't? Really? Yeah. So I'm motivated to do things you can't because it's just fun. And what I'm seeing in nature, there aren't any can'ts. And what I'm getting is to see all the stuff we're taught in school, track with me, is coming from a default premise where you've got a depleted soil that's been mined and ruined, and they're trying to fix. Nothing in nature is broken, and it doesn't need to be fixed. It's just huge. It's really huge. You're gonna see in the moment we're gonna walk. I have strawberry plants growing under that cherry tree in full shade. We're talking.
Sedona. We are going to
We're going to Sedona. We're going to Sedona right now.
Sedona? Okay. Those are the state parks.
Okay.